Jenny?
Hmm?
Jenny?
Yeah?
I think it's time to put out the Christmas stuff.
Oh yeah, we haven't decorated yet.
Christmas time, Christmas time, Christmas time. Oh yeah. That's creepy enough. Let's try some Christmas time. This is the cupboard of everything. We have weird old games and all sorts in here, and loads of Dungeons and Dragons and other role-playing games that I never get a chance to play anymore. It's just how the world is. So, this isn't the Christmas tree, this is the pool. The Christmas tree's behind it. You stuck Santa in the Christmas tree box. I can see his head poking out. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. I've got to try and get back here now. Tell me when the timer's going to run out, otherwise I'll get stuck in here. We won't be able to get the crystal. It's right at the back.
Oh, what a shame.
What's this?
I don't know.
There's nothing in it.
Oh, I think we're keeping it because we're adults and that's a really good tube.
You kept a tube. I suppose I can see you putting it into a tunnel or something on a layout.
So, what is this archaeological dig?
So far, all I've found is shoes and Star Wars boxes. There's a drum kit here. This is a lot harder than I expected. Christmas is a struggle this year. Where do you want it, baby?
Have you got enough time for me to explain with directions where you should shove it?
Where am I shoving it, baby? There we go. Christmas is set. There's only one thing left to do. Well guys, thank you so much for all your lovely comments on the video about losing my grandfather. I really appreciate it, and to everyone who says that they've been through something similar, which was a lot of you, all I can say is you have my deepest sympathies, because it's not something pleasant to go through, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. But thank you so much for that. Today has been kind of a lazy day for us. I mean, I've set out the Christmas things, but mostly Jen and I spent the time playing Ticket to Ride, and it was nice to have a little bit of time off, which I've kind of needed with all the work and everything else that's been going on. So that was lovely. But also, I've got to get focused, because I've been having a talk with Jen about the plans for the future of the channels, and we've got a load of stuff coming up. In fact, Jen is currently downstairs filming what will become part of the final week of this year's videos, and we've basically got enough stuff to keep us going until the middle of next month, which is like halfway through January of 23. So we're good for video stuff, but as a result, I have a feeling it's been about 8 months since we had a proper Game Hammer, which means that the focus now has to move over to the other channels. We're trying to build up the channels. Jen's, as I've said on a previous video, Jen's stuff is doing well. It's doing really well, and I'm enjoying enhancing the way that we do the videos, behind the scenes editing techniques and things like that. It's great, but we want to develop the other channels, because my goal for 23 is to have the vlog beefed up and Game Hammer beefed up, so that we have the 3 channels doing well. I'm already pushing hard on regular updates on the live streams for the Game Hammer channel, but I need more, because otherwise it's not going to work. So expect to see a lot more focus on Game Hammer in 2023. Also, Board Game Hammer will be happening. I've got the scripts, I just haven't had the time to do them. It's very annoying. And something that I was putting together is the Hammercast. Now, I've said this on a live stream, and in fact I'm just going to grab, if I can, the stuff about that from the live stream. I want to get the Hammercast going again fairly soon. Game Hammer has a podcast. Did you know that? Probably not. We've had 3 episodes. I'm going to say 2 episodes. 3 episodes over multiple years. And I want to get it going properly. But it's going to be a bit different to what it has been, because it's going to be more like, the Saturday morning magazine shows where you would have a weird little puppet guest. I'd say like this guy, but he was on, I don't know, he was on the Brum Cupboard on afternoons. Hi! And I want to have characters and things like that doing various things. We're going to have like This Week in Retro News, This Week in Modern News, and they're both going to have different characters to present it. So that'll be fun. And also what have I been playing this week kind of thing, where we get an idea of all the stuff that I've been gaming with, and fun stuff like that, and little comedy sketches as well, because I want to get the comedy going. But clearly I work too much in the evenings to be able to get out there and get to stand-ups. So I'll do the comedy via YouTube. That'll be the way I do it. That's what I'm thinking of, and that's coming soon. Probably start of December. That'll be fun. I've got to get everything sorted out for that. But it lets me use this room, because I've got here, I have this screen. You never see me use this screen, because when I'm sitting here, I'm either right in it like this, or not in it at all. But that background, I set that up to use as the background for a show. It looks a complete mess. The point is that last year, and it was last year, which is weird to think, I started building this as the set for a show. And it was going to be a weird kind of... if you ever saw the Brum Cupboard on Children's BBC, it was a mess, and it had loads of stuff going on behind to give visual interest. And that's been used a lot ever since, replicated all over the place. It's a good idea. I really don't like the way I've got this light out. It's going to be moving, it's going to be set up properly. The point is that we have a weird set where I'm kind of doing a Saturday morning kids show, only more adult oriented. And it's going to be the Hammercast reborn, essentially. Like a kids show, it's going to be a magazine-style show. It's going to have a weird cartoon. It's going to have a musical segment. It's going to have jokes. It's going to have weird characters and all that. And it's going to be wild. I've been working on some of the stuff for that for months now. And it is coming. I want to try and get an episode of that out, as a pilot episode, before Christmas. If that happens, that's great. If it doesn't, it'll be early January. It all depends on how quickly I can get some of these drawings together, given all the other work. And that's the focus that we have at the moment. That's the issue that I have, is the amount of work that it's taking. I noticed a while back that essentially every time I say I'm going to be doing something, something comes up and stops me doing it. Whether it's a sudden influx of a load of products coming through for Jen's channel that we just have to get out, because if we don't, then the channel ends up being last to report on it, which is no good for us, because we basically live or die in that channel on frequent updates of the latest information. So I'll then say, oh, we got this thing, and then 5 or 6 new companies will come out and think, oh, we got these new products, go, 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 go. And it's so frustrating. So when I talk about this stuff, there's always in the back of my head, it's like, what's coming out to stop me doing it? This is my focus now. I'm going to be a little bit more selfish in that respect by making sure I have time for my projects for next year. That's my thing. I'm going to keep going with the stuff for Jen's channel. Of course we are, because when focusing on the new stuff, I don't want to lose the old thing. You know what I mean? So we're going to have a lot more work. It's going to be how it is. But I think it's going to work. I'm going to make sure that it works. Whether the shows are popular is a different matter. I mean, I'm going to make them the best I can, but let's face it, if it doesn't grab an audience, then we'll move on. It's just how it is. It's the same thing where I was doing the Game Hammer Gaming Force for a few months, where it was going to be like, here's the retro contest, and you can win the trophy. And then, although I put out a poll saying that people could give their opinion, would you watch this? Would you take part? And all of that. A lot of people said they would watch but not take part, which is fair enough. But a lot of people said they would take part and watch, and then didn't take part. So, like, what's the point of going on? If there's only one person competing every time, it's not really a contest, is it? It's one person taking part. So, while I appreciate those that did send stuff in, it wasn't enough to keep the show going, so I cancelled it. That's going to happen if stuff isn't popular. I'm going to be very honest with you. If the stuff that I'm working hard on doesn't get an audience, it will end. Because the focus is to make the other channels a success. That's how it is. So that aside, it is the end of the year. It's where I'm starting to think of projects for next year. So this is kind of a little businessy, but I'm going to be very honest with you. We will be mercenary in that respect. If it doesn't work, we're going to move on and find something that does. That's how it is. Same with Game Hammer. If by episode 100 we haven't really got an audience, I'll work something else out. I'll reformat the show or whatever. I want to make that channel work. I love games. You can tell that I love games. I love sharing my love of games with people. But if I'm doing it in a format that people aren't interested in, I'll find another format until I get something that works for myself and for you guys watching. So anyway, that's really much it. This is a little bit more business focused in terms of the channel and background YouTube. So if this sounds a lot inside baseball, as they say, then I apologize for that. But if you're interested, thanks for watching. Tomorrow will be more interesting. Let's hope. Anyway, take care, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. This has been the vlog. Thank you for your support over the years. It's been great. I hope that you'll enjoy the content that comes up in the future. But until then, I'll see you tomorrow. If you like the show, please consider supporting me on Patreon. It really does help create future videos. That's patreon.com/Zoe Kirk-Robinson. And I've got an extra special thanks going out to Chief89, Sam Yates, Retro Mickey82, Mo Henry, and George Botterini. Thank you so much, guys.